Hello, everybody. This is Prince, and today we are checking back into Kalgara for the early OP17 format. This is my pet deck. Obviously, I've played him so much. I love him so much, but I did skip out on OP16.5 just because of the whole Mihawk thing. It's just such a bad matchup. Honestly, 90-10 or something like that. I haven't played it that much just because I know how bad it is already. Them getting 6K so bad, but also just the leader effect, resetting 3 Dawn so strong and letting them play their Lunas. And I know your Strongs for free. And the 5 cost Perona stunning our guys, the Odin stunning our guy and drawing a card. They're all just like bad for us, honestly. They just stop what we're trying to do so well, especially if they're playing 7 Cushings. We can minus it with Wiper for sure. And it's a good play, but it also gives our whole board -1, which makes it even harder to swing. In OP17, though, now our matchups are actually quite very well. Other than the glaring weakness Mihawk, we are pretty good into Shanks. I do have a game in here that we play against Shanks, against Rocks. It's also quite good. I don't know if you want to go first or second, since their curve going first and second is pretty nice, and our first curve is better. But we have a game against Rocks here. And Kaido, we can sort of just explode them at the gate. They don't play many 2Ks. Again, I was going to say, like, Rocks doesn't play many 2Ks, so we can keep our pressure into there. Black Luffy is also quite a good matchup, letting Wiper clear the 2K bodies. They do play the Roto out. They can keep the attackers out, but the Roto will die to Wiper since it was only a 2K body. So yeah, I believe Viper or Luffy is also a good card. I do like this Luffy deck a lot though. It's quite similar to the LBF deck using, or sorry, the Sabo deck using the LBF package. They just take our package and use it quite well since they go wide, and the leader effect helps that, like making your all your guys +1K. And now Big Mom, it's a pretty good matchup too because of Wiper. On 9 Dawn, you can play your Wiper, and then Lear play second Wiper, clear all the 4K bodies on the board, meaning their Big Mom 10 cost on their 10 Dawn turn doesn't actually have anything to buff. The only problem is this oven here that lets them play out a 4 drop, but again, that's only one guy that they can swing with, the AK, and their 10 drop just has much less value in that scenario. Just being able to clear everything is really nice. But other than that, into this format, I do believe we're quite good. I am going to Nationals in Dallas, so I will be playing there. Going to be preparing. We're going to be playing some Elbaf Sapo and Luffy to see how they feel, and also Mihawk just because he is so strong. But other than that, let's get into the games. All right, so for our first game, we are going up against a Shanks Mulligan the first hand, and we get a pretty nice hand for the second one. Shanks is, I would say, a pretty good matchup, or at least favored, since we go pretty fast and we can develop multiple bodies a turn, and they can only stun one guy a turn. So we're just going to play the 3 cost here on our 3 Dawn, hoping to find a draw Kalgara would be the best thing here, so we can play it out next turn and just start our engine. There is the option to grab the Nolan, but I'm just going to grab the 2K because in this matchup I definitely want the cards to defend board more than actually the healing, since say the Beckman has rush character, and he gets to rest 2 of our guys, so they're for sure going to swing into our board a bunch, and we just want the counter to protect that. He's going to play the Lime Juice here, and he grabs the Yasop and swings 8 at us. We're just going to taking every swing most of the time. Here we can play the Nami into the 5 cost grab we actually found. Should swing this 5 first. Again, I was scared of Lunar Trigger, even though it only rests characters. I always think it can rest your leader too. But should have just swung 5 and then played the Nami and then now swing the 6. Also, after watching the game, and you'll see now, I should have played the 5 cost Wiper on this turn instead. Could have been instead of the Nami, or it could have been instead of the Kalgara. Either way, it would have been better because it would have stopped this law play. I honestly have not played a lot against Shanks, and I do not know that they're running the law package. It seems good. Let's them play the Yasop going second and develop an extra body, and then also bounce back their Searcher. The only reason I thought they wouldn't play it is because the only Searcher they do have is the 2K one. So he's just going to swing 5. We're going to give him the 1. He had to trash a card for the Nami effect. So now our turn. Probably just gonna play a heal and a body. If we did have a Nami here or uh, a Beluvi, it would be ideal. Those cards would just help us push our opponent down rather than stalling for ourselves. That is like sort of how your other 5 Dawn work in this deck is you either play to survive or you play to kill them, which is pretty nice. You just have like 2 separate packages. But we're just gonna play this Nolan here. It's better than Borso since it will just get rested by this Beckman he's gonna play on his 8th down turn, and we can save the Borso for later, even though it will probably get rested when we do play it. We're just gonna barrage him with some 6s. His deck does not play that many 2Ks, honestly, I don't believe. Might play around 10, but he did already give us a bunch, so we're just gonna keep poking the 6s. Now he plays the Beckman, you rest the Dawn for the freeze. He's gonna swing 5 into here, and I do a little math here, just see what I'm gonna keep in my hand and what I'm gonna pitch for counter. Do have 4 2Ks, which is nice, and I also have the event plus the upper yard. I can event for the Beckman swing, but it'll actually just be giving up more cards than I need to, since I'm for sure not gonna protect all of my bodies this turn. I'm gonna give him a 2 here, and he's gonna swing the 9 into the Kalgara. And then, yeah, so I shouldn't event this, and I don't believe I do. I think I just let it go, which is correct. Yep, just let it go. And then now he's going to swing 2 6s into our Kalgara, or he can leave the Lost Standing to be a blocker. This first 6, we're just going to give him a 2, or actually we should event this first one, and then we can give him a 2 after. Would just be optimal, because we can find a 2K that is worse than the Bonnie, I guess, like say the 4-cost wipe is probably worse than it right now, even though the only thing this Bonnie does protect is the event that pops 2 rested 6 costs. It's actually not bad in this matchup for sure for him. It lets him get rid of 2 of her bodies. But he does swing the 6 here at face, and we should just feel free to take it. Honestly, don't know why he didn't swing at the Kalgara. Maybe he thought after poking all the cards out of my hand, he can maybe whittle me down. Now, we do have Nami, but he's at 2 life, so we can't play it. And we have the Borso, so we're just going to play out the Borso and swing a bunch at his face now. I could also not play the Borso, and I would most likely survive. I just have to counter 5, 2 7s, and a 9, which with this hand, I would be able to do. Actually, almost exact counter. And I also get 2 draws off of this Kalgara, or a draw and a life off the Kalgara. So it would be all fine if I did just want to play the 5-drop with my leader effect and just swing as much as I could at face. We're going to swing 6 here, though, because I believe I'm just going to try to play this Borso. For 5, I can give it down with the Wiper and maybe swing a 7 and a couple of 6s. He does give us 2 1s now, though, so these 6s are actually really good numbers, since we know he doesn't have 2Ks. So for this 6, he is just going to have to take, which is a very good sign for us. We can then swing a 7, and then we can swing another 7 and leave 1 down up because of the Wiper. And if he takes this, we could just jam. But he does have 3 1Ks here. He gives us 3 Lucky Roots, which is pretty funny. If we did have the Rush Luffy, we'd for sure just kill him here. But we can just play out the Borso and swing a 7. I would play out this 5-drop Kalgara just so we have more cards and a better body on board, just to protect our board. I should have left it on up. I don't know why I swung an 8, even though for sure he was going to take it. We know he doesn't have any 2Ks. And we did draw into 2 bricks, which is unfortunate, but this line for him is only going to be 5, 7, 7, 9, 12. And we just only have to defend out of the 5, the 7, and the 7. He's going to pitch a card for his leader effect now. It's just a brick. That is something really neat about Shinx, is he can sort of cycle his bricks and use the extra Dawn to swing instead of tapping one. Which is why I think Shanks is actually quite cool deck. Just unfortunately right now he isn't the greatest. He is actually trying to go for our board here. He's going to swing a 9 into the Wiper. We can defend this. We can defend out of the Yasop swing, and we can defend out of leader. And just let whatever the Shanks goes through, swings into go through. So we'll give him 2 2s here. Shanks will go into our wiper and we'll let it go. He does only have 3 cards, so it's pretty good for us. We know we should be able to kill him on the clapback. Even if we don't have the Shush Luffy, but we do, so he's for sure dead. But yeah, so now we just defend, and he doesn't swing leader, which is interesting, but it's because he has these rest for 3k events, which in fact means I should be swinging 8s, but my numbers would be like a little weird if I did, and it's just guaranteed math already, just swinging 7s. I could swing 4 7s and then this Luffy swing, and he doesn't have 4 cards in his hand. He actually need like 5 cards in his hand, honestly, or even 6 to defend out of this. But he has 2 of the 3k events. Just bust our Luffy, and he only has 1 card. So now 7 is guaranteed. He has to block, and then we can do this Luffy swing to finish off the game. Gets another buff, even though our life was 1k. Doesn't matter. Just the rush is what we needed, and that is a GG for the Shanks. I do believe this is a good matchup for us, and yeah, we'll continue to the next game. Alright, so now a game into Sabo. I think this was the third game I played against Sabo. I believe the set is 1-1 right now. I've just been rematching, and it's been pretty fun. So we will get into a pretty good hand. We are going first. We have 3 costs, and then we have Nami plus Kalgara. Viper is very, very strong in this matchup. If they do decide to tap their giants like Saul, and not as much Loki, but like Saul, the Viper will help clear them, which turns off like a lot of their effects. And then also, Viper just lets us clear the weenies if they don't have a giant on the board. So just gonna pass on 1. He has a Nami Searcher. He's going to pitch a card, draw 2, and then he has, yes, another Nami. The red one, though, so this one will search his deck, or search top 5 for Straw Hat, and most likely, I think it was a Luffy he grabs here, or maybe an Usopp to play for next turn. Actually, it just grabs a 2k, which is very fair. In this matchup, I did find if they see Saul on 4 and they open 2-drop into Saul, into docking, into Luffy, the game gets hard. Just playing the Luffy into the 2k Brook is really strong for them because it allows them to still have leader effect on their 8 down turn. But we're just going to play this 3 cost, grab the Noland and the Viper. We didn't have any other heals in hand, so we want to guarantee that we have at least 1 this game, even though we'll most likely draw into some more. Now, their turn, if they don't have Soul, which they don't, they have to play either a couple 2-drops or just 1 2-drop and a swing like a 6, which is most likely what he's going to do. He grabs a 0-2k. He could technically play the 0-2k. It would be missing out on this 5k swing, though, and he would have to bottom the 3 cards in his trash when I play my Viper, or actually, I would just prefer to play the Nami out, which means like, he's losing his tempo, and I am gaining more tempo rather than having to play this Viper. Viper, though, since he doesn't have a giant on board, will clear the Usopp and the Namis too. And if he did have a ACOS on board, with the leader effect, they would go up to 3k, which is very much something to note. But right now, he doesn't have an ACOS or a giant, so the Usopp is just a blank 2k body that we will be able to clear out. Yep, there's the 6 swing. We should just take this and find a vanilla Kalgara. He's alright in this matchup. He's a big swing, and the only problem is he does turn on 7 Kasoro, which I just do not like, since it allows them to get more cards out of our hand. Now this 5, we swing into leader. This is the correct sequencing. Yeah, this is the correct sequencing. He can 2k this, or he can take it. He's just gonna take this one. His leader is still 6 or 5 now, so it'll still need a 2k to defend out of this one. Get the satisfying board clear with Viper into the Kalgara. We could have. There is definitely an argument to play the Nami into the Viper, and swung 6-6. He still would have taken the first one, and this one he still would have given us a 2k, but we would have burned one of his life, which is definitely something to note. But yeah, so the 6, he should give us a 2k. We know he has at least 1 with that Chopper in his hand. But Chopper is good utility, giving unblockable. Against our deck, it only works against the Borsos, since that is our only blocker in the deck. But against other decks like very blocker heavy decks, notably Kaido this format, they play the 10 drop Kaido, and he's really strong at just like prolonging the game. Uh, yeah, so he's going to give us the 2K Zoro, which we also knew he had. And this turn, his best play would probably be docking with leader effect and swinging 7. But if he does that, he doesn't have a giant on board to actually get value off of the target he played off docking. Meaning on next turn, he wouldn't be able to play the Luffy. So I think the best play here is actually Sol plus a 2 drop or Loki, which he has Loki, which is nice since it will pop our 3 Kalgara. One thing to note is that it's not a blocker like in Black Luffy. Black Luffy has the Loki as a blocker, which is really nice, and Elbaf Sabo does not actually get the blocker effect, though his leader effect is still immensely strong, just being able to give everything +1, including his leader. Now we're going to play our Nami into Wiper. It is okay to play Nami here since he only has one body on the board, and I don't feel pressured into dying. I know I can survive for as long as I want. Now this 7, he is going to give us 2 cards, trying to push him down as much as we can. We do find a event off of this. Now, I think it would be fair to just grab the 1K and not the event and swing 7/7 at life. There's definitely an argument for that, just to get even more cards out of his hand. But now this event will let us keep the board to get another card of his hand next turn. So it goes both ways. So now we're just going to swing the 6, and then we'll swing the 7 with their Kalgara. Hopefully the 7 goes through. Just give us a 2K Gird. That card is also very strong in Black Luffy, but not as much in this deck, since in Black Luffy it becomes a blocker. Now, he can give us the Chopper that he showed us earlier, but I believe that is the best 2K in his hand. But there's a Chopper and the Nami. Now, if we did swing a 7 instead of grabbing the event, we would have got one extra 1K out of his hand, which can definitely matter. Cards are everything, honestly. But now we're just going to help ourselves keep more cards in our hand and have more resources just to protect our board. His best play this turn would either be a Zoro into Dawn into leader, swing 9/9 into something, or it would be the Luffy into Brook, which would give 2 Dawn to his leader, making him be able to swing 8/9/9 with the rest draw and draw off the Luffy and the 4K body off the Brook. He does only have 5 cards in hand, so he is feeling quite vulnerable. There's the Luffy there. We get to play out the Brook, give his leader 2 Dawn, and just swing at our board. This 8, we will for sure counter event, and one of these 9s we should 2K out of. Giving him 3 cards for a 9 is quite iffy. I would not want to do that, so we can just give 2 2s here, and then let the next one go. This Luffy swing, it does get rush because of the Loki Giant on board, and we can just give him 2/2 here. We do get to keep the Wiper, which is nice since it is the Dawn Giver, which just lets us push more aggro. We do have the Bell Luffy in our hand, and our other cards in our hand aren't as they aren't 2Ks, they're just 1Ks. But still, on this board, if I did want to play Bell Luffy, I don't think I would die on the clapback. We would, or that's actually quite debatable, but we do still have 2 life, and 2 life are quite strong. Now this 6, we are just going to poke, see if we need to play Borsalino or Luffy this turn. Either is fine. He's going to give us a 1 on that. We can swing another 6. With this Luffy, we can swing 7, I believe it's 8. Is it 8, 8, 8? Yes, 8, 8, 8. But here he's just going to take, and we're just going to jam at face. He has to take the 8, meaning he doesn't have any counter. Yep, there's 5 or 4 bricks in the event, and just the 2K he probably got off life. The event is actually quite good into our deck. Again, like the Shanks event, we do play the removal protection in the Bonnie, but I did not play that out this game. It would have protected 3-cost Kalgara from Loki, but then once your board gets filled up, it's just not as strong. Mainly, it is good against rocks because you need your pressure in that matchup much more than you do in others, and defending from Glorious is very strong. So that is a good game against Saba, and we will head on to the last one against Rocks. Lastly, our game against Rocks. we are going first. Honestly, it is to be experimented with if you want to go first or second into this matchup. Their curve is second, but they also have a fine first curve, which is Big Mom into Shiki, uh, and that is quite strong. So it might be like the ace matchup where even though their second curve is better, you still would prefer them not to play their 5 down curve or 5-7 curve because they can go Yamato into Zoro. That was in the past, and this is how this new matchup is probably going to play out. We will just pass with one on. Uh, we have the Nami Kalgara combo in our hand, which is nice. It lets us establish board, draw some cards, and pressure life. Nami is quite good into rocks just because of the sheer amount of sheer amount of bricks they play. Every card in their deck is a brick other than the 2K events and the rocks 10 cost. Those are the only cards you can use as 2K. So Nami burning life means it might actually burn 2 life with 6K swing too. And just getting the extra pressure is nice. Against rocks, Rush Luffy is great since all of his 2Ks, like I said, are events, which meaning Luffy gets buffed, and you could almost swing at Shikis at times, just how big it gets if your life is a 5 cost. And so we're just going to jam 8. We did not find 3 cost off the top, unfortunately. Still fine, we have the Nami into the Kalgara, and we have 2 heals for later in the game in the event. It's our opponent's turn. They are playing a little bit slow, unfortunately. But on forward on, his best play here is either Captain John, maybe swing 5, or swing 6, discard an event and play Don Marlin to get the event back. Or play a 4-cost blocker like the Kaido, just to get a body out there. That is 6K stat line, so it will free block 5s, even though our deck does not swing many 5s if we do not have 3-cost Kalgara out. We do trigger the event, and we get a draw 2 trash one. Do trash the Nolan, even though this is one of the only heals in our hand. I do expect to see more heals throughout the game with my 5-cost Kalgara draw. Now we play the Nami. We can swing 6 lead, play the Kalgara out. He's going to have to give us a 2K here for sure. He did not rest the Captain John. No matter what, he was going to have to give us a 2K just because that's how his deck works. But it means that we couldn't wipe it and make him give us a 2 and a 1. So it is correct on his end. So there is the unblockable 2K. It is quite scary, honestly, because that can give unblockable to their leader, or it can also give it to the 10 cost, which is nice. So, like, say they have leader and 10 cost, and your opponent has a bunch of blockers. If you have 2 of the unblockables in your hand, you can swing with your leader first, then swing with the 10 cost, both unblockable, which is really strong. So I'm just going to swing a 5, should be fine to take this one and give it 2 on the next one, since he is most likely just going to play a Whitebeard this turn. You could have played the Whitebeard first, swung the 6, and then swung an 8 by using Whitebeard's effect to pitch a card and give him +3. But he's just going to swing 5, flip the top one, and draw 2, since it is a Rocks Pirate type card. We will give him the 1K, I believe. It would be definitely a bummer if our 5 Kalgara got Glorioused right after we just pitched one for counter. Though we did have the Wiper to defend, to try and kill the Gloriosa, in which he would most likely need to discard 2 cards off the Q to protect it. I think he is deciding on what he would like to do with his turn this turn. He still does have Captain John to swing, and do keep in mind once he rests his Captain John, we have to swing into it. I believe that is how it's worded. I believe it's worded like Easton's Captain Kid, where if it's rested, you have to swing into it. Now, he just played this really nasty play, which is double Stussy, making both of our guys not attack, and developing 2 5K bodies with an insane activate main. I think this card is just so strong, making you try to survive. Just 6 on and 1 card to stun a 6 cost and a 10 cost is so strong. And here, lets him develop 2 5K bodies while stopping our pressure from going. Now, we will most likely have to play this Viper just to get an extra card out of their hand when they attack when we attack into the Captain John. Sorry, my mic just fell. We're going to play this 3-cost Kalgara though. Grab a Wiper and a 2K, or we could grab the event, but 2K seems better. There we go. We got the mic fixed out. We can leave some Dawn up for events. Say he was going to play Shiki. We can event the Shiki, even though he would most likely swing it first. It's still always a possibility. These decks are, this is the maybe first or second week testing with the deck, so they're all brand new. People don't really know what's going on. And it doesn't help that we are playing a super off meta deck. He also did not rest his Captain John, so we could not swing at it with the Wiper. I don't really know why I swung a whole 9. I guess I just didn't feel the need to leave Dawn up for events. Though I feel like leaving 1 up for the Earth Onlys was definitely going to be strong. Or better than at least what I did. If we do keep 1 life, we are going to be able to play this Wiper onto the Captain John once it taps, and we can also Wiper down the Stussies once we kill the Captain John to swing in 3k, or swing into the 3k Stussies, because we do want those off the board. Just being able to stun anything for 3 Dawn is just so strong. To start off with a 5 lead, we have to get a 1 here. Could be the 1k Noland or a 2k. Honestly, could be either. I did give the Noland. In this game, we're gonna have to try and close it out eventually, quite soon. We can't let it go on too long because they will outvalue us with their leader effect, just drawing an extra card every turn, and their other cards just giving them card tempo, either with killing board or just making their cards even stronger on defense, like Whitebeard and Shiki. So yeah, he's on 8 Dawn, still deciding on what to do, unfortunately. He's gonna play a Gloriosa. Gloriosa bottoms our Wiper, so now we don't get the Dawn extra turn. Assuming he just did not like us having extra Dawn for swinging, which is very fair. He's going to tap his Sussy to stun our Nami, which is unfortunate. And now he's going to touch a Dawn to kill. He did have this extra Dawn, so he can swing a 5, which is actually really annoying since we don't really want to take this. But this 5 we should take since we can find a 1k to give one the Stussy swings most likely. Just as long as we get to keep 1 life, we get to play Borso plus Wiper next turn to try and kill Captain John. I have seen people experimenting with the event in Rocks, the Usopp event, that makes it so when one of your characters were to die, you can pitch a card instead, which would for sure be very annoying on this turn too. But he doesn't have it 2 Dawn up, so we're just going to play our normal play. Borso into Wiper, swinging 6 into this 4k body is really nice, just making it even smaller than his leader. Now he has to choose to pitch for the Gloriosa if he wants to. Yeah, Wiper is quite strong, especially if they do play Captain John out and Gloriosa. Being able to kill Gloriosa is really strong, especially if they don't have kill. Just guaranteed killing it is nice. He is going into his counter step. He just lets it go since it's smaller than his leader. It's hard to defend reasonably. So now we do have the 3 cost and the 5 cost that can swing. I do want to clear this Sussy since it is just really strong effect. I can give a Dawn to something. And maybe leave 1 or 2 Dawn up for the Earth Onlys. You'll Frighten Me is most likely not going to come in anytime now, since the Shiki will swing before the other guys will swing. So we're just going to swing a 7, and then we can swing 1 more 7 with the Kalgara. The 3 costs, and then leave 2 Dawn up with 1 blocker, ton of cards in hand, and the Earth Onlys plus upper yard combo, which is nice. I think I'm debating on swinging into this Stussy. I do think I leave 2 Dawn up, and I should just leave only 1 for sure. I don't ever need 2 Dawn since this You'll Frighten Me won't affect anything, or it'll like only count as a 1k, and when they use it, they can just use the Stussy effect to rest it instead. I do believe he does give me 2 2s here, which swing 7 would have prevented from happening. But yeah, Wiper here getting a lot of value, letting us kill the John, making pitch 2 cards to protect his Gloriosa, letting us swing into the Stussy. Whitebeard's just an overall MVP for the deck for sure, and it has been for a while since OP15, since the card's release. It's just been really strong. He is going to give us two twos here. Gives us the 2K that bounces a 6 and the unblockable 2K. Now he has two Stussies on board and a KO, and he's going on to 10. So he can play the rocks. But if he does do that, then he won't have 3 Dawn up for the Stussy. So his best play is most likely just a Shiki here, and then being able to use Stussy effect to stun one of my guys, swing into the other one, and yeah, just really strong. He's just debating, I believe, to see the best move. Rocks has quite a few different options, especially off the 10 cost. You can summon 5 cost and a 4 cost, say Big Mom and Clarissa, or you can summon Big Mom and Kaido. And you can summon a 7 and a 2, which could be a Strucin and a Shiki. I think it's always going to be Shiki if he's summoning a 7 out. I don't even think there's a different 7 cost in this deck. But Shiki is just immensely strong, where there doesn't have to be another one. Giving -3 on attack and on opponent's attack in a deck full of bricks lets you use your cards very reliably. Now this 9 does go into our Kalgara. He does minus this Borso, which is definitely incorrect. He should just be minusing this Kalgara. I don't think it matters too much, but he should just be minusing Kalgara since it is the one he is going to be swinging at. He's not going to be swinging at my Borso. I believe he is. Yeah, there's the pitch for the stun or the minus on my Borso. I honestly believe I was going to just let this one go if it was 9 into 2. Or if he minus the other Kagura, I would have maybe blocked 2K, since all the other bodies would want to go into my 5 cost Kagura rather than 3 cost. Now we just give him a couple cards. Give him the event and 2, which is not that many cards for a 9K swing, in all honesty. He is going to swing with one of these 2Cs, swing with his leader, and use one to stun one of my guys. If he swings into my 3 cost Kagura, I'm not going to let him have it. I just want the pressure, especially when he only has 5 cards. It will be definitely good. If he does swing into leader, I honestly am fine taking it. I don't think he would be able to kill me, but yeah, there's the swing into the Kalgara. He gets to use leader effect pitch. He does find a 2K off the top, which is very nice for him. Yeah, the other card could have also been a 2K for all I know, but I know for sure he has at least one. But we're just gonna give him the 1 for the swing into the 3 cost, and the Stussy swing we'll probably just give him a Zeus. Yep, there's the Stussy swinging. We'll give him the Zeus. The other Stussy will tap for the effect of it to let him stun any guy on my board. So strong. So yeah, honestly at this point he might just be fearing death with only 6 cards in hand. 2 life is still something I have to get over, but 6 cards in hand. I know one of them is a 2K, and one of them will be a 3K on defense, but it only does work on characters. So my leader can be free to swing a 7. The thing that would counteract that is the Nugate. So normally the curve is Nugate into Shiki, but this Dusty play was not bad either, since it would stop my entire tempo and let him establish a Stussy for this turn exactly when he plays the Shiki and needs to use Stussy effect. I'm just going to stop my Wiper from attacking. Now it's our turn. We should be able to just play the Borso and live and just push our face as much as we want to. Find a 3 Koskara, I still believe we are living with 2 2s, and this, especially Yo for enemy event, is going to make us safe. The only anti-blocker I think he has is like the Gloriosa, which he's already down a couple. Just doing my math here, numbers are weird in 2 rocks. It is very good to keep track of how the what your opponent's board is looking like and how many 2Ks you've seen they have in hand. since depending on the board, 8s and 7s are quite a difference. Like in this scenario, I swung an 8 here because he has the Shiki on the board, and that would give him one card for the whole +3 or -3 onto my guy. Where this 8 would require 2 cards to get the kill. Now he takes the 8. We're pretty chill with that. Just checking his 2k counts now. I can pressure another 8, pressure another 8. As long as I leave Dawn up for this, you're fighting me. Should be good to go, honestly. I do believe my 8 math is 8, 9, 8, or 8, 8, 8. Or 8, 8, 7, 8, 8. There's a 7 in there, and then there's 2 8s. That's all I really need to know. I can use Leader Effect to play over one of these guys with my 3 Kalgara just to get the extra Dawn for myself. Just being able to pitch the guy on my board, get the 2 versus Dawn back, and then use them. He does give us the Shiki effect onto the Kalgara. So now we should be free to actually swing 7s, which are the best numbers since he does not have any of the +3 guys left. I can swing a 7, yep, 7 is good. And I can swing another 7 if I needed to. I do believe he actually takes the 7. Oh no, he gives me 2 and a 2. Yep, 2 2s. I can swing into this Stussy, but I'm just going to swing 5 lead. I might just play the 3 cost. Yeah, I think I will play the 3 cost over my 3 cost. Or I can jam. Him having 3 2Ks is quite unlikely. If I just leave 3 cost over the 3 cost, I should be for sure living. But yeah, he does have no bricks. He would need to have 2 or only 1 brick in his hand, which is so unlikely with the Rocks deck. But yeah, good win into Rocks. This is one of the new big bads. The effect is very strong, and his character is also very strong. But we are able to pull out the win, and I'll see you in the outro. So that was the 3 games for today. Hope you enjoyed. I just got a little break from my Pokemon events that I've been playing in, and got some time to play some Kalgara and OP17. I had some fun. It's so fun against anything except Mihawk. Mihawk is just such a bad matchup. Blob also, I didn't say it in the third intro, but that card just cooks us, letting us go to AK and sending our biggest card on the board. But other than that, I will be preparing for nationals and the Flame Fruit event in the future. So I will maybe be hopping off for Kalgara. I will still make videos, but I will most likely be covering some other decks like the Black Luffy and a Buff Sabo. But that is all for me today. Hope you all enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It would mean a lot. And thank you.